each year. Science and technology is also one of the 3 priorities which I identified for Pakistan's presidency of the ECOSOC this year, because obviously science and technology will be critical in achieving the SDG goals. I believe the forum would address some vital questions, such as rationalizing the application of intellectual property and aligning it with the SDGs, providing guidance to the scientific community for targeted research and development, and importantly, in identifying ways and means for bridging the digital divide. The General Assembly has decided that the meeting of the STI Forum would be co-chaired by 2 member states and would result in a summary of discussions elaborated by the 2 co-chairs as an input to the meetings of the High-Level Political Forum for Sustainable Development. I am most grateful that Ambassador Pildegovičs, Permanent Representative of Latvia, and His Excellency Ambassador Mohammad Koba, the Charge of Affairs of the Permanent Mission of Indonesia, who has replaced His Excellency Ambassador Andrejs due to the completion of his tenure, that these 2 ambassadors have agreed to act as the co-chairs for this year's STI Forum. I thank them both for accepting this responsibility and ask participants to extend their full cooperation to them in preparing for and ensuring the most fruitful outcome of the STI Forum this year. I would now invite the 2 ambassadors who each make some introductory remarks. Ambassador Pildegovičs, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Ambassador Koba of Indonesia and myself, I would like to first to thank His Excellency Mr. Munir Akram of Pakistan for entrusting us with this important and exciting task to co-chair the 6th Multi-stakeholder Forum on Science, Technology and Innovations for the SDGs. I wish to assure colleagues, the UN membership and other stakeholders that we are committed to ensuring a successful STI Forum 2021. A forum that lives up to the multi-stakeholder spirit, engages participants on timely topics in the realm of STI for SDGs, and provides relevant input to the high-level political forum. We would also like to thank colleagues in the UNDESA, UNCTAD New York office for their support, as well as to the entire UN interagency task team and the 10th member group for their continued work in preparing the forum this year. Today, we are glad to share progress made in preparations of the 6th STI Forum and to inform on the way forward and to listen to your comments and answer your questions. As Mr. President has said, this year the STI Forum will take place from 4th to 5th of May 2021. As we expect the COVID-19 pandemic related restrictions to continue, thus limiting international travel and in-person gatherings, we are going forth with the plan that STI Forum will be virtual. The format will be different, but it is the multi-stakeholder participation and forum's content that matters. That will be our focus. Stimulating keynotes and panel discussions, opportunities to hear directly from innovators, and exciting side events and exhibits. The signature STI Forum features will be there. STI Forum is part of the technology facilitation mechanism created by the Addis Ababa Action Plan and is the Agenda 2030. The forum serves as a global and multi-stakeholder mechanism for both developed and developing countries. that facilitates pragmatic, in-depth discussions on a wide range of science, technology, and innovation issues intended to accelerate progress towards the SDGs. While it will be a challenge to deliver in the limited course of just 2 days on a range of mandates adopted by the member states and to meet the expectations, it's also vitally important. Science, technology, and innovation have been our lifelines during the COVID-19 pandemic and continue to be the main source of hope and solutions. We are committed to making the forum inclusive, balanced, and impactful. We intend to reflect on lessons learned and look forward to the future, deliberate big themes, and share practical knowledge and best practice. STI Forum has led to various STI partnerships, including within and beyond the UN system, and coordination with other initiatives is important. We look forward to building on established partnerships and creating new. Furthermore, STI Forum should be mindful of other multilateral processes and events taking place this year and contribute to the broader discussions, for instance, on climate action or food system transformation. We will also work to ensure the relevant links to General Assembly's high-level debate on digital cooperation and connectivity in April, and the Commission of Science and Technology for Development later in May. As already mentioned, the STI Forum is mandated to inform and support the high-level political forum discussions. Accordingly, the theme for the STI Forum itself will be closely aligned with that of the HLPF this year. It will focus on STI for the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic and pathways towards achieving the SDGs. As in previous years, the co-chair's summary document will consider key highlights of the discussions, messages, and recommendations from the STI Forum and will be transmitted to the HLPF. Substantive preparations for the STI Forum are underway, including through discussions with the UN Interagency Task Force and the Secretary General's 10th member group. Informal expert-level consultations are ongoing. The traditional preparatory meeting is planned for the second half of March, after which we will be finalizing the program. The draft concept note for the STI Forum will be made available in the first half of March. An information note on participation and registration will also be made available soon. All information will be published on the STI Forum website and communicated to the missions in New York. I would like now to give the floor to my dear colleague, to Ambassador Koba, for his opening remarks that will also highlight some of the themes that will be covered in the STI Forum and opportunities for engagement. I thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Andrejs. Allow me also to thank the President of ECOSOC, Ambassador Munir Akram, for the mandate given as co-chairs of this year's STI Forum. The forum will provide a venue to facilitate interaction, matchmaking, and the establishment of networks between relevant stakeholders and multi-stakeholder partnership. To date, hundreds of scientists, young innovators, technology specialists, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and civil society representatives have gathered to discuss and showcase STI solutions for achieving SDGs and various cross-cutting themes. As in previous years, a call for innovation will be made, focusing this year on advances in mitigating the non-medical consequences of COVID-19, especially those with the potential to accelerate progress toward the SDG even after the pandemic. Specific sessions are expected to address SDG achievement, especially through those that will be in focus at the SLPF, as well as lessons from the pandemic experience that can serve to better operationalize STI for the SDG in a more inclusive fashion. This can include ways to improve the science policy society interface, increasing scientific collaboration globally for tackling major challenges and accelerating SDGs progress through innovation that can be scaled up to have impact across multiple goals and targets, including those such as poverty eradication and decent works. In this context, and in line with the 2021 International Year of Creative Economy, we would also like to include the vital role of creative economy for economic and social recovery as part of the discussions. This session will give the forum a focus and lens through which to discuss specific scientific insights and technology and innovation solutions that are crucial for pandemic response, recovery, and progress toward the SDGs. The session will also allow for a discussion of challenges and bottlenecks. At the same time, we will continue to build upon the discussions at previous fora and features a number of cross-cutting themes, such as the impact of rapid technological change on the SDGs, STI roadmaps, capacity building, facilitating the sharing of relevant knowledge and technologies, and further advances the operationalization of the TFM's online platform, in which we have also expressed interest. For us, as co-chairs, it will be also important to proactively encourage the participation of women and youth, including in the selection of panel moderators and participants, and address topic on women and youth engagement in a cross-cutting manner within the context of STI. Over the years, the Global STI Forum has inspired similar multi-stakeholders gathering in different regions and among different groups of specialized actors. We hope to bring together several here to further deliver on the networking and matchmaking aspect of the forum. We envision highly interactive discussion that will provide adequate time for the intervention from member states and all relevant stakeholders. We intend to include a virtual high-level ministerial segment and would like to encourage the participation of ministers from relevant fields such as planning, industry, innovation, creative economy, agriculture, education, science and technology, energy, environment, rural development, governance, and equality advancement. We welcome your feedback and we will keep that in mind as we proceed with the preparation. The draft agenda will be posted on the website of the forum. Further details about side events application will also be posted on the website. We will ensure that all necessary communication will be sent to all missions in New York. My last point is we would like to bring to your attention that the Technology Facilitation Mechanism, or TFMs, mandates remain extremely underfunded compared to other GA-mandated activities. The TFM is one of the most tangible achievements of the Addis Ababa Action Agenda and of the 2030 Agenda, which requires everyone's support. Without adequate funding, the reality will fall short of expectations. Hence, the increased voluntary contribution toward earmark support for the forum are important to enhance its inclusiveness and representativeness. Going forward, we will keep you informed on the progress made and look forward to your participation to make the forum a success. We welcome your thoughts and guidance to carry on this conversation toward the STI Forum in May and beyond. I would like to again thank our colleagues in UNDESA and Andrejs New York office for their valuable and continued support, as well as to the UN Interagency Task Team and the 10-member group of their work and dedication. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Koba. And now the floor is open for comments, questions. Sorry, I am unable to see who wants the floor.
We have no request for the floor.
I see. No request for the floor. So perhaps we can move on to see if there are any comments from UNDESA. Would UNDESA colleagues wish to add anything to the comments that have been made by the co-chairs?
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Shantanu Mukherjee. I'm head of the policy branch in the Division for Sustainable Development Goals, and it's my team principally that has the honor to deliver the STI Forum to the broader membership of the United Nations. We are delighted to have your full support and the support of our esteemed co-chairs in the work this year. I think a lot of details have already been shared. I would just emphasize that from our side and on behalf of the 40+ UN partners in the interagency task team, as well as a global network of science, technology, innovation communities, and the Secretary General's 10-member group, we are fully on hand to support the delivery of a compelling STI forum with strong decisions which will really advance the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Thank you so much.
If there are no further comments, would my distinguished colleagues, the co-chairs, allow me to make a few comments on that are perhaps go beyond the preparatory process, just to share with you some of the thoughts that I had on the possible achievements that we could aim for at the STI Forum. And I would just like to mention a few things that I have been doing in the past few months, which may be relevant for your work as well. Firstly, I have been discussing with some of our colleagues in UNDESA, but also in UNTAD, the possibility of developing a database of open source technologies that are available and could be applicable to many developmental issues, but we so far do not have one place in which we can find these technologies. So the idea is to develop such a database with the help of both UNTAD and UNDESA, and this could be a reference point for developing countries and to access open source technologies that might be applicable in various facets of development programs and development efforts. So that's one idea we can pursue in the STI Forum if you find it feasible, and we can have a separate discussion. The second idea was to see, I mean, we have all talked about the alignment of science and technology efforts with the SDGs, alignment of intellectual property with the SDGs. And we have some examples in the current context. As you all know, there has been a proposal which was submitted in the World Trade Organization by South Africa and India to have a suspension of IP applications to the development of the vaccine and related therapeutics. This has been co-sponsored by several countries, including Pakistan, and is a proposal that is in front of governments and is under discussion. But there is a broader issue here, which is a systematic evaluation of what kind of breakthroughs are required in the science and technology field that would have a direct or indirect but important impact on the achievement of the SDGs. A analysis of the application or better focus on scientific research related to the SDG goals could be a useful area for exploration. So I put these two issues in front of you for possible discussion and consideration, and also before my colleagues from UNDESA and other stakeholders. The third area, of course, which you have both mentioned, is the whole issue of the digital divide, how to make progress in practical terms in implementing the Secretary General's roadmap on bridging the digital divide. Of course, this is a complicated issue that's been discussed in several forums, but perhaps the STI Forum could also make a contribution on how we can actually specifically advance the implementation of the Secretary General's roadmap. So these are just three ideas which I have been pursuing, and I would be happy to discuss with you and anybody else interested, and perhaps could supplement and complement the agenda which you have outlined in your presentation. So I thank you very much, all of you, for being here today. I thank the United Nations Secretariat, specifically our colleagues from UNDESA, for their support, and I would like to say that your task is challenging, but it is a vital one in the context of achieving the SDGs and recovery from COVID. And I look forward to working closely with you and supporting your efforts in any way possible to ensure that we get a very substantive forum this year, and that you are able to capture the best possible results from the forum, and to make a very important contribution, not only to the HLPF, but to the overall efforts to recover from the crisis and advance the SDG goals. So I thank you very much. I hope we can stay in touch, and please keep us updated as we go forward. And I look forward to reconvening in any format that is suitable in preparation for this STI. So thank you very much.
Mr. President, if I may add just a few words,
please,
before we conclude.
Please.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you so much for your encouragement and for your vision shared with us. I want also to add maybe a bit in a national capacity, a few words related to digital divide, to bridging of the digital divide, and to the synergies between the efforts of ECOSOC and the General Assembly in order to equip our citizens with the best instruments for dealing in the digital society. And I refer to the ongoing negotiations of the GA resolution on the Information Media Literacy Week. This initiative has been presented by a core group of the members. Latvia is one of the core members, and this resolution is aimed to help our societies to operate in the digital world and to bridge the digital gap, to support SDGs, and to ensure that everyone is equipped with media and information literacy skills required to participate as a well-informed citizens in various aspects of public life. We think that this resolution is very timely. We think it's an important effort to upgrade the efforts of UNESCO in this regard and to raise it to the level of the General Assembly to strengthen synergies across the whole UN system, to help developed and developing countries in this regard. We believe it's also very important. This information media literacy is, metaphorically speaking, as a vaccine against disinformation, against misinformation, and all efforts are very needed in this regard. So we hope that wide the UN membership will support this resolution. It might be concluded by the end of March and put for vote, hopefully consensual vote in April, before STI Forum. So I want to use this occasion to stress again the need for society, technology, policy interface. And I hope that STI Forum will help us in this regard. I thank you again.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I think.
Mr. President.
Yes, Ambassador Koba.
I think the PR of Dominican Republic has asked for the floor.
Dominican Republic. Sorry, I cannot see the chat box. So sorry, my dear colleague from Dominican Republic.
No problem, Mr. President. This is COVID conditions. just wanted to assert the Dominican Republic's strong support to the success of the STI Forum. Of course, to you, Mr. President, and to the co-facilitators. There is much interest in capital to actively participate in this conversation for obvious reasons. During this pandemic, the digital divide has come to the surface, how deep it is, how wide it is. And so we are very keen in contributing in any way the co-facilitators deem possible, whether one of the panels or whatever we can of course continue this conversation, but just wanted to share that interest and that decision and that support to all of you in this process. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to put my video because it seems my connection is poor today. But very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our colleague from the Dominican Republic. I'm sure that both our co-chairs have noted your interest and certainly your interest and those of other colleagues and friends will be very, very much valued, and we look forward to your active participation and cooperation in the STI Forum as such. And I would also like to thank Andrejs for his very timely reminder with regard to the resolution that has been sponsored by Latvia and others on this important subject of literacy week. I would commend it to all of us, and I'm sure Pakistan at least will be very supportive. And I look forward to seeing both the General Assembly's action on this proposal. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, Excellencies, colleagues from UNDESA and other participants. Let's stay in touch, and I wish both our co-chairs good fortune and good luck and hard work to produce a most successful outcome for the STI Forum this year. Thank you so much, both.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Bye-bye.
Please.